And I decided to pull my Rover push truck vehicle for Thunderbird Raceway out of the weeds out back of my place. Haven't ran it since last year. I think I only ran it once or twice last year, if that. Anyway, gonna put some new skins on the thing. So July 26th, I will be out to Thunderbird Raceway at their 3/8 mile dirt track, doing a little bit of packing and maybe some pushing. Anyway, here's what we got going on. The front tires, they go flat. They're late model tires, but they're weather checked real bad. They're old. Anyway, they go flat in a matter of just a couple hours after I air them up. So I'm working on putting some new skins on them, or newer skins. They're used new skins that I've had up in the tire rack up there. I pulled two of them down with likewise tread, I guess, with the same size diameter tire. Pretty close anyway, but they're fat ones, so they'll do a good job of packing the clay in, and then I'll put the moons on it when it's all done. And East Beltline Towing over in Grand Rapids, they are the suppliers of this beauty vehicle that I built into a dirt track push truck. So tune in on July 26th if you want to see some dirt racing action. Not OSHA approved. 22 pounds. In case you wondered how I adapted these late model tires, it's a Bassett wheel, 15-inch wheel. I think it's 15 inches wide as well. And then I made these wheel adapters because the old 92 Rover has a very large lug pattern, but not big enough for a wide 5. So anyway, this is, I didn't have a machine shop, so I did everything with hole saws and a drill press. And I welded everything together. And they're pretty true. Turned out pretty nice, actually. But I did that years ago. It was pretty cool. So I didn't want to let the air out of it. They break down easier that way. This is called a bead breaker. Racers know what it is, but maybe the everyday public don't. do this an old school way. Back when I bought these wheels, about 2006, I guess, they were $100 a piece back then. They're steel wheels with a 5-on-5 lug pattern for a big Chevy, but I used to run the Outlaw Modified. Boy, they worked good for that. Anyway, we're almost done, and I'm glad of that, because it is really humid out here today. Even though I got the air conditioner set and it's only 74 degrees in here. Used to be the same way with my car. I didn't ever like working on my race car at the racetrack. There are cases where you can't avoid working on a race car at the track, but I didn't enjoy it. If you're wondering about the big fenders, it's to keep the clay off the windshield. When you're packing, never follow so close that you get your windshield covered with clay, because that ain't no fun. Car's been sitting outside. Most of the windows don't work in this thing. That passenger window does roll down. That's the only one that doesn't have a plastic bag on it. The driver's side, I took it off yesterday when I pulled it out of the weeds where the thing was parked. Battery still had a little bit of juice in it, but not enough to fire it, so had to pull it up here to the garage and put it on the battery charger for the night. But she's ready to go, besides putting the moons back on, and I won't do that until tomorrow, when I see that the tires did not go flat overnight. So yeah, I may end up putting a can of Fix-A-Flat in each tire. That's the sidewalls on these things are really thin, and that's part of the reason they grip the track so good. But yeah, I don't know, it's all fun. Have a good night.